Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Jyotirmayananda Society, a journey to self-realization. Please subscribe our channel for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang with us. We are currently exploring the book Yoga of Perfection, Summary of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently exploring the key points of leading a good yogic life in the light of the Gita. Divine communion assumes different manifestations in different planes of personality. It becomes Karma Yoga in the place of action, Raja Yoga in the place of mind, Bhakti Yoga in the plane of sentiments, and Jnana Yoga in the plane of reason. So, again, integrating the four: Karma Yoga, selfless service, Bhakti, devotion, Dhyana, meditation, and Jnana, wisdom. Action, emotion, will, and reason. These we require in everyday life, and we also require it in our spiritual efforts. Then it becomes holistic, as we had discussed yesterday. Next point: complete yoga demands the surrender of every level of personality into the ocean of universal life. Thus, no part of the personality can be ignored and left undeveloped in the course of spiritual evolution. So, remember the 3H formula: hands, heart, and head. Apply all these three in your daily life. Work with your hands, have sentiments, karma yoga with your hands, bhakti and meditation with your heart, and wisdom with your head. This way, we lead a full holistic life, and all aspects of our personality are fully utilized. Next, those who do not have the vision of integral yoga may seem to advance quickly on a certain path, but they must come to a stage of inertia wherein the process of nature must lift the parts of the personality which have been heretofore ignored. Thus, there is no sense in quickly trying to do something half cooked. So, better to take your time and enjoy the journey and be fully and wholly nourished. Now, we'll be exploring some points to intensify our sadhana or spiritual discipline. No matter what aspect of sadhana or spiritual discipline is predominantly adopted in one's life, at a certain stage of its development, what is needed is the constant exercise of abhyasa. Abhyasa is repeated effort, consistency. Abhyasa and vairagya. Vairagya is increasing dispassion to bring that aspect of sadhana to a state of perfection. Perfection is siddhi. So, in order to get there, we have to have our self effort and detachment from worldly sense objects. Next, abhyasa is characterized by faith, perseverance, patience, increasing vision of reality, and persistent self effort. That is what we do, and we practice something new, then it eventually becomes a skill. We get used to it, and that is what Lord Krishna also recommends in the Bhagavad Gita for us to do. Vairagya or dispassion is the mark of increasing integration of the mind. It is characterized by the development of will, decrease of desires for the objects of the world, lack of psychic involvement, and increasing experience of freedom and fullness. So, Vairagya means dispassion or getting away from the worldly things is actually not a sad development. Many people think we have to leave the world to find God. You don't have to leave anything. You have to leave the attachments, the inner pull towards them, and the love for the world, because ultimately it's all a dream. And one day we have to depart and leave everything here. So, this is a preparation in a way for us to get ready for that journey and understand that all things, including our very body, are transient. And without vairagya, we cannot progress on this path of the holy path of spirituality. That's why it is emphasized. Next, an aspirant of integral yoga must understand the functions of the three gunas in his personality, or the three attributes. Bhagavad Gita also has put in a lot of effort. Many chapters are devoted to it. Shraddha Vibhag Yoga, Gunatraya Vibhag Yoga. Uh, unless we understand purity, activity, and inertia, we will not be able to lead a comfortable, holistic, happy life, because we will always be in a state of confusion and distress. So, the goal is, once you learn how these three gunas work, you find more harmony in your life. So, understanding the three gunas, sattva being harmony, rajas is passion and activity, and tamas ignorance and inertia. So, those are the three gunas that have to be mastered on this path. Next point, the material world, from cosmic mind to gross mind, is composed of the three gunas of Prakriti also. So we see these three gunas in earth, water, fire, air, ether, our bodies, everything we see. And as the Prakriti flows, next point, the gunas change, and human personality develops a new body with newer functions of the mind and senses. Nothing is static, we are constantly evolving. And it is the way the three gunas are playing within us. Next point, prepare the inner condition through meditation and understanding, and let nature flow on to invest you with the proper body, faculties of perception, and congenial circumstances. Next, to a yogi of integral yoga, every sadhana or effort assumes a wider meaning and a deeper implication, because they are deep into the journey, not surface level. Next point, tapas or austerity implies the development of patience, persistence, self control, endurance, even during the trying conditions of life. It is easy to be happy when things are good. It's challenging when things are difficult. And that's what is meant by this, that tapasya, austerity, should be consistent, and it should be handled with patience and persistence also. Endurance, all these are qualities that will build us, from make us stronger, make us deeper in our spiritual practice. And the next point, a yogi adopts moderation in eating, recreation, sleep, meditation, and action. When you do not let yourself swing on an extreme, you are practicing austerity. In Bhagavad Gita, also, Lord Krishna clearly says yoga is for one who doesn't eat too much or too little, who doesn't sleep too much or sleeps too little. Therefore, balance, harmony is required. Then you grow holistically. Next bullet point are experiences on the path that we will explore. Um, Prakriti, nature, flows to adapt to the demands of the spiritual movement, of the sadhaka spiritual movements. It endows him with a healthy body, a strong mind, a dynamic will, a serene and subtle intellect, and a resplendent causal body. It endows him with congenial circumstances wherein he can express the beauty of his soul through divine thoughts, sentiments, and actions. So his body becomes a temple, and every act he does becomes a worship. So it's a beautiful experience, and those who are deep into the yogic practices and sadhana feel it inside their heart all the time, every day. But this is how the experience goes. This is why we are encouraged to do it regularly. A yogi, next bullet point, a yogi feels an increasing assurance in the divine plan. He sees the divine will lifting the burden of his mental cares. For the devotee of one pointed mind, God takes care of his yoga and kshema, the problems of acquiring the things that he needs and that of preserving the things that he already has. This is a very important shloka in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna, I will even repeat it for you. Lord Krishna says, Ananyascha chintayanto mam ye jana pariyopasate tesham abhiyuktanam yogakshemam vyahamyaham, which means if you give your one pointed attention to me and my thoughts, the creation, finding your journey in spirituality and connection with me, then God says, I will take care of your um, things that you will need, and what you already have, I'll preserve that also. That is God's promise. So it's a beautiful thing for serious devotees, and there are many stories and facts where if a devotee is sincere, God takes care of all their needs. So, a beautiful confirmation here in the shloka. Next bullet point: balance of mind in all conditions, desirelessness due to the removal of ignorance, cheerfulness due to the perception of the self, fearlessness due to the removal of attachments, endless contentment due to the removal of the cause of pain in the form of ignorance. All these characterize a perfected personality. And it will take time for us to do that. So we should not put ourselves down or get frustrated if some of the qualities are not visible in you yet. You will get there, but you have to have patience and persistence. Then all these qualities become supportive in your journey and you grow very quickly. With this, we conclude our satsanga for today. I will see you in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Hari Om Tat Sat.